Morning, guys. First week of January. Happy New Year's. Merry Christmas. Hope you guys had a great holiday with your family. Maybe you did a little hunting. That's what we were able to do in between the different holidays, and back in the office and going hard. So wanted to take a few minutes today and talk about the Wyoming Elk deadline that's coming up on January 31st. Same deadline every year, and a little bit of why and why not. So jumping right into it, Wyoming Elk deadline may or may not be, depending on what your goals are, a mission critical deadline. And the reason I say that is because Wyoming has a point only deadline that happens all the way October 31st. And so if you're not trying as hard as you can to go elk hunting as soon as possible or as often as possible, then this deadline may be one that you just hold off on and you grab your point in October and move forward with a more of a long-term goal. But if you're looking to go hunting elk as soon as possible or as often as possible, then this deadline probably does make a lot of sense, and it's one of my favorite ones of the year. And here's why. So Wyoming breaks their tags down into a whole bunch of different kind of categories, and because of that, it allows for a few wrinkles and folds that give us some opportunities that other states don't. So the primary one we want to talk about first is the general tag. And what that general tag is an over-the-counter permit for residents, but non-residents have to draw. And then you have you have the regular and the special. And they give 60% of the tags to the regular drawing, which is the $692 license, and they give 40% of the tags to what they call the special, which is a $1,268. Now, in a very general, generic sense, more often than not, if you apply for the special permit, the more expensive one, then you're going to draw the same tag sooner than you would if you waited for the regular. So it's not always the case, but it's often the case, and sometimes it's only a year, and sometimes it's as much as 4 and 5 years difference. And so every unit, every hunt code is different on the spread between how long it takes in the special category and the regular. What you need to know on the general tag, which is a license that is going to encompass pretty much all of the western half of the state, or western side of the state, all of the eastern side of the state, and then a few units in the Bighorns and a few units down in the Snowies and the Medicine Bow. I'd say almost 50% of the state it encompasses this general tag. Is you could draw that with 1 point in that more expensive in the special category. So if you wanted to go elk hunting every other year, this is an option that has tons of public land as well as private land. And so there's DIY options, there's fully guided options. Some have big, huge ranches, 100,000, 200,000 acre ranches that you could go on, or we're talking millions of acres of public land. Like I say, primarily you'll find that public land in the Medicine Bow, the Bighorns, or in the huge portions of the western side of the state. Meanwhile, if you're not interested in spending $1,268 on a license, you could plan essentially every 3 years to go hunting on the exact same tag, but drawing it in the regular category. It takes 2 points, $692, same season dates, same dirt, same elk, everything's identical. You just are opting into hunting it sooner than later by electing to pay the extra money. So with 1 point or 2 points, you can draw that general tag and go a lot. And there's some great elk being killed in a lot of these areas. It's not just a raghorn hunt. You see a lot of that 300 plus inch bulls. Occasionally you're going to see a 350 plus come out of those types of hunts. Not as common, but a good mature bull hunt in very many places across the state. Once you get past 2 and 3 points, in my opinion, you kind of get into what I call no man's land. And you're kind of from 3 to say 8 points, you're in a spot where there's very specific hunts that you would be in the max point pool for, and Often those are going to be a little bit better caliber of bull, but often private property is going to be a huge factor in that. So if you know that you're going guided, you know that I'm not going to do a DIY hunt, then sometimes that no man's land, you can find a very specific hunt that you're going to draw, you're going to go, and it's going to be a good experience for you. If you're looking for that upper age class of bull, but you're still committed to the DIY, then you need to kind of buckle down during that time frame. If you decide the general stuff isn't what you're looking for, then this is where this Wyoming elk application might make a lot of sense to you, because you've got a pretty good weight in front of you to get to areas with lots of public land and have a chance at that 340 to 360 class bull or better, right? So what you need to, the reason I say it might be the right fit for you if you know that you're going guided, if you know that you're not going guided, is because they're going to set aside 25% of the tags in each of those categories to a random drawing. They do that with each of these, any species that has a point to it. And when you have anything less than max points for that specific hunt code, then they're going to have, you get one raffle ticket in the bucket, essentially. So whether you've been putting in 5, 6 years or it's your first year, you have an equal chance at that 25% of the tags. So the real trick is to find units that have a few more tags than the others, giving you that many more chances at actually coming out of the random drawing. There's some of these units that only have 1 or 2 tags that actually make it into the random. You know, they may fit exactly with your goals, and so that's still a good plan, but you may look towards units that have a lot more tags, some public land. You know, you might, you know, be hunting with your Onyx out all the time because you've got some private property issues, but it's all understanding how that works and knowing that you do have a chance at 25% of the tags, which is pretty awesome, and it's like putting in for New Mexico or Idaho. They're giving you a value by giving you a point, so you are leading up to a finish line, but it truly is a random drawing unless you have max points every year that you apply. So it's a good one. Anytime you have equal odds, nowadays with as mature as these point systems are, equal odds is good odds, regardless of what they are. So give us a call. Let's talk about what your hunting goals are, what your elk hunting goals are, and let's see if actually applying for Wyoming could be a really good fit for you and get you on a high quality elk hunt, either DIY or fully guided, sooner than later. And we'll come back. Gonna probably talk about Arizona elk and antelope in the next week or so. But we sure appreciate you guys. Like always, please follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our email letter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're trying to put different content and engage everybody with different things on each of those different platforms. So check us out on all of them and don't miss a thing. We appreciate it, guys. It's 2019 and we are rolling hard in here, and it's all because of you guys, and we really do appreciate it. Thanks.